All right. So it is Reactica time, and it's actually been a couple of days since I started this machine, and I didn't do updates the first couple of days. So, oops. But it is day, I think, 3 for me, and day 5 of the event itself. I got here a little bit late. So, let's talk about what this machine is. It is the Red Machine. So, the whole event is split up into 4 color-coded sections: blue, red, yellow, and green. And I'm in charge of making the machine that correlates to the red section. So, all of the objects, or as many of the objects as possible, should be red. And I've brought along with me a lot of red foreign objects. So, like a notebook, the car, the radio is actually Alex's, a red light bulb, and then some stuff that I've already used, like this book, the umbrella, and this little miniature frying pan. So, let's do a tour of what I started with. So, the first thing I started with was the umbrella trick, and I wanted this to be sort of the first big visual thing that happens in the machine. And actually the first big visual thing that happens in the event itself, because my machine is the first thing that happens. So the book falls onto this plank, which presses the button on the umbrella, and that opens up the umbrella. And then that will release this foosball on this track, and that comes down and then rolls down the zigzag board on the book. So that's the first thing. Let's see that in action. Perfect. So that is that. And this was a bit of a pain to try to construct, so I had to use a bunch of zip ties to really fix everything in place, because obviously the entire thing is cantilevered off the side of the table. So that's that. The next thing is this frying pan, which went through a bunch of iterations before finally landing on this idea. So the idea is that it's mounted on a fidget spinner, which is also red, although you can't really see it. And it spins around 270 degrees, and it goes clockwise, so the handle will end up, here, and then the handle will dip down through the hole in the rails in between, and the ball will be allowed to roll down the rails. So let's see that in action. Oh, that didn't work. It's supposed to be a little bit faster. It's supposed to come in like that. So I'll have to check that out. I'm not quite sure why that happened. But my favorite trick so far has to be, let's get a good angle of it, the unwinding ball. And this is a classic spice up of the unwinding around pole trick. So we've got the ball that's going to unwind around this vertical pole. And then once that happens, the entire pole falls over and becomes the other half of this rail system here, and then the ball rolls down the rails. So it's a nice double use of a classic trick, and that looks like this. Nice. It didn't work. So, a couple of things to fix, I guess. But yeah, that is what we're dealing with for this machine, and I gotta fill this space and this space. I might do something with this pointer hand, I'm not sure. And then, this is not something I built, but Joel has built me this beginning trick, which will be the very first thing that happens in the entire event, is this giant hand, which I also brought from home, and the K'NEX piston, which I brought from home. So somebody, I don't know, maybe some kid from the audience, will sort of give the hand a little high five, and that falls over and then presses on the piston to knock a domino off the table or something, and that will start the whole event. So, that is the Red Machine. Not really day 1, but it's the first update that I'm doing. So, yeah, some problems to fix for sure, it looks like. Reactica update day 3 for me and 5 for everyone else. Yeah, I agree, Escalator. So let's do a recap of what I had yesterday. So it was umbrella, miniature frying pan, ball unwinds around pole. Today, I didn't build any more main idea tricks because I was focusing on connecting the ones I had and filling the space with simpler ideas. So the two that I built is the pointer hand that gets launched out using the Hot Wheels launcher. So this is a combo of 2 red items that I had, which was lucky. I guess 3 if you include the marble track. And this tube that wraps around the metal, or around the wooden box, which also uses some red marble track. So yeah, some nice little visual tricks that are very basic and went together pretty quickly. So I'm actually ready to do a full test of everything that is connected up to the marble coming out of the bottom of the tube. So it's going to be hard to film because the umbrella goes quickly, but okay, perfect. And then that marble is going to connect to this orange rod here, and that's going to release the ball unwinding around the pole. So I haven't built that connection yet, but that'll be a job for tomorrow. So then there's this. Nice. This trick is going to require a lot of fixing. So mostly a success, but this is still causing problems. So again, a thing for tomorrow. So connection from metal marble to the orange rod, fix whatever just happened there, and then fill the space with one final trick, which I'm thinking I'm going to use maybe the fake phone or the red notebook, just big items that fill some space. But I'll figure that out tomorrow. It's coming along nicely. It needs to be finished tomorrow. Reactica. Day, I don't remember. Well, for everyone else, it's 7. For me, it might be 5 or something. But yeah, the machine is done. Today's task was to fill the remaining space, which was sort of this area here, and that has been completed. So I did a pretty simple set of tricks here, but I'm actually really happy with how they turned out. I had a couple objects left that I really wanted to use. I really wanted to use this book, the red book. The car, I was kind of hit or miss on. I wasn't really totally set on using it, but it would be cool. I liked the cups as well. And then the fake phone was the other big thing that I really wanted to use. And I checked all the boxes. I used all the objects. So the car just rolls along the book and knocks over a cup tower, which is not built at the moment. Actually, nothing is reset at the moment. And then the fake phone is a rolling trick. It rolls down like this. So I wanted to use the phone, but the problem with the phone was that one side, you can tell that it's a phone, but you can't tell that it's red. And the other side, you can tell that it's red, but you can't really tell that it's a phone. And so you kind of need to be able to see both sides to be able to fully appreciate what this object actually is and why it's in the red machine. So I was thinking of various ways that I could get it to actually flip over and you could see both sides. And this was the idea I came up with. I'm really happy with it. So I actually changed up a little bit the sequence. I was saying that the marble from the tube would trigger the ball unwinding around the pole. Actually, that triggers the stuff in the middle. And then the ball unwinding around the pole comes after the phone, and then that just leads directly to the floor. So everything's been connected up. We've even put in the beginning with a sign on the hand, and the table is now in its final position, and then that is now connected to the very first step of the machine. So that is everything, and the entire event is coming along pretty well as well. All right, it is a Reactica update. So I've actually started to take apart the machine, but it is obviously post-event. We are in the middle of the cleanup process. So how did the machine go on Topple Day? Badly. So the ball jumped out early on the frying pan. The frying pan tipped here instead of in between the rails, and the ball landed on the floor. Nothing toppled as a result of that. Luckily, there was John and Joel close by who were both there to save it. So it's unfortunate. This also marks the next in a long line of live event fails for me. The last time I had an event machine work was ISM 2015, I'm pretty sure. I had all of the things that I built in ISM 2017 work, but I didn't really have a distinct section per se. And then, of course, Domino Masters, everything I built worked on all 5 builds we did there. But in terms of like a live event with an actual machine section built by me, I am like 1 for, I don't know, 6, 7, something like that. It's not great. I guess I could count 2016 because the part that failed was not something I actually built, but whatever. The audience had fun, and we had 2 tables that worked perfectly. We had Joel's table work perfectly, and Zane's table worked perfectly. Evan's table also had one very unfortunate fluke fail in it. But yeah, I'm totally happy with how the event went as a whole. And I already got takes of my machine working as intended. So what'll end up going up on my channel is of the version that works, obviously. So just a little update. And that'll be it for the red machine.